Hello, hello, dear friends. Tell me, how was your morning commute? How were your holidays? Your pants fitting a little tighter? That elastic on your sweatband there, on your sweatpants, is it feeling a bit tighter than usual? We have things in common. Welcome to another episode of Vinyl Junkies. Please share, please like, please do all of that good stuff that my wife keeps reminding me I should tell you to do. And we'll get the show started. Greg Allman's last record before he passed came in last week, so I'm probably going to play a track off of that. I also have the new Robert Glasper mixtape that came out just last Friday, and don't you love when all you got to do is show the box and you know what this is? Yeah, man, Third Man Records just sent a package. So I'll be talking about that too. And yes, of course, I will be talking about my vinyl pet peeve. One of my two biggest vinyl pet peeves. People who just talk about how much they paid shit. Oh, it's annoying. Let's get this started.
Special bulletin. America is now under martial law. All constitutional rights have been suspended. Stay in your homes. Do not attempt to contact loved ones, insurance agents, or attorneys. Shut up. Do not attempt to think, or depression may occur. Stay in your home. Curfew is at 7 p.m. sharp after work. Anyone caught outside the gates of their subdivision sectors after curfew will be shot. Remain calm. Do not panic. Your neighborhood watch officer will be by to collect urine samples in the morning. Anyone caught interfering with the collection of urine samples will be shot. Stay in your home. Remain calm. The number one enemy of progress is questions. National security is more important than individual will. All sports broadcasts will proceed as normal. No more than 2 people may gather anywhere without permission. Use only the drugs prescribed by your boss or supervisor. Shut up! Be happy. Obey all orders without question. The comfort you've demanded is now mandatory. Be happy. At last, everything is done for you.
Everything is done for you. Full of piss and vinegar today, folks. Actually not really. I just figured we need hot topics to talk about. So that one's pretty obvious, and it's a topic that we deal with on a regular basis. People talking about how much they pay their collections. I won't get into that yet. Why don't we do some music first? That's the point of the show, right? I'm going to play some Napalm Death because actually one of my absolute biggest influences is Mr. John Peel, and he's basically the one who broke Napalm Death, who basically introduced them to a much larger audience. So I spoke to, not the last time they came, but maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they came with Melt Banana and the Melvins, and I interviewed Shane, and he was completely awesome. We hit it off. We talked about how he went to visit John Peel's house, and he has tens of thousands of records, and he gave me some records and autographed the ones I already had. This is one that I already have. So, song 2, side 1, what the hell is it called? If the Truth Be Known, or it might be song 2 on side 2, in which case it's called The Chains That Bind Us. Uh-huh. 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 Wow, I hit the right button and everything. Oh, 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 oh. More sonic vomit. It just came out of everywhere. As vomit is wont to do. How are you, friends? I would like to ask you a question. Were you a victim of the black ice? The black ice didn't affect you this Christmas? Everything went well? No slipping? You had your good winter tires and chains? Good. Good. I'm happy to see that you're safe. I am in a bit of a metal mood. At least for now I am. But I did pull out some hip hop and some southern rock. So we're gonna go in different directions. All right, but for now let's stick with the piss and vinegar. Why don't we? I'm gonna play you some Italian blackened thrash death. All you take all the ugly elements of heavy metal. Throw them right into the boot of Italy, and you get a band called The Secret. This is an album called Agnus Dei. I believe it was released in 2016, and I'm pretty sure that the label is Southern Lord. I wasn't sure at all. I was going to say Relapse. You see what I know? Nothing. Nothing. You should not listen to me. Why, thank you, Matthew Peterson. Silence! Metal Italiano. Silence. Silenzio! Non the voice in the queue. I speak them shits. I speak them shits. Straight out of Naples, yo. We heard The Secret from their, 2016? 2012. You see what I know? Nothing. Agnus Dei. Very, very wonderful, heavy, blackened death, whatever. Metal. It's metal, is what it is. How's your morning commute? Hey, everyone. Hi. How's your morning commute? Have you been okay? Good? Digesting properly? You got some greens in your diet after eating like a pig during the holidays? Get some greens in there. You should try to eat Chinese broccoli as much as possible. Very delicious. Very, very delicious. Death Angel is a band that I saw not on their first album, but I saw them on their second album, which is, what the hell's that album called? Walking Through the Park or something? I don't remember. I never remember names of albums. I can see the cover, though. It's like you're watching through a television. And interviewed Marco Segeda. I must have been 18 or 19 or something like this. And now, the drummer, the original drummer of Death Angel at that time when this record came out, the Ultraviolence, was 14 years old and still in high school. So you're listening to a 14-year-old do it, and it was very much a family affair. I don't know which brothers are there. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I got enough problems fucking keeping track of the people I do know. Forget bands. It doesn't happen. Just, put it in the liner notes so you remind me or something. Let's see. We're going to listen to some Voracious Souls. This is a song from Death Angel. This was officially their big hit on their first album. And how do I know that it was the big hit? Because it was the lead video. See, back in the days of MTV, especially for metalheads, man, you'd talk to metalheads, we all watched the metal shows. What the hell was that show with the SOD theme on MTV? Jesus, I can't believe I can't remember the most basic names. You know the one I'm talking about. Somebody put it up in the comments, please. Turd wants Captain Beefheart. I'm playing metal. Turd, before you start treating me like a jukebox, go become a patron. Silence. I'm talking here. Big people are talking here. Headbangers Ball, yes. I'm still pissed off at you, though. So I'm going to play Voracious Souls, because Voracious Souls is the kind of video that you would see on the Headbangers Ball, which would play from midnight to 2 a.m., if I remember correctly. And I know because we used to go out to bars where they would play that, and that was kind of the highlight. How fucking my God, my childhood was pathetic. Yes, we would go to metal bars, the Black Light, I believe on Stanley Street. And the big highlight there was to hang around with other metalheads and wait until Headbangers Ball would come on. And we would watch Headbangers Ball and pay too much for the overpriced Black Label beers while we were watching television. My life sucked. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Osageda. Oh, ow, 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 ow. I hear it over my monitors. You see, look at that. How many of these shows have I been doing now? For the last 3 weeks now, it's 3 shows a week. Before that, 2 shows a week. I've been doing a lot of shows. These are a lot of shows. Still can't get it right. Matthew Patterson. You just found Vinyl Junkies, did you? Enjoying your channel. Thank you, Matthew. Much appreciated. Where did you discover Vinyl Junkies? I'm always curious to know how you guys come across the channel, how you get the information. Yeah, because I'm curious. I'm just curious that way. Pettersson, with like 2 S's and 2 T's. Does that mean you're like from Sweden? I'm asking seriously. That's usually the way I see Swedish names spelled. Suddenly I feel like playing some Yngwie Malmsteen. Coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I won't play you any of that. What I'm going to play you is some more blackened something or other. A mixture, blackened catfish. The band is called Nails. It's very, very heavy, and your lawn will die. Thank you. Thank you, Nails. Thank you, Nails. Nails sounds like the nickname of the really tall, really fat kid who grew up to be just this huge fucking giant, but like he fell on his head when he was a child, so he's a little stupid. But he's big and threatening, though, and he's into hardcore, so people called him Nails. He's also the guy who dies at 26 of a heart attack because he's just too big for that age, so all those big guys die too young. He's one of those. He was a bouncer at your favorite hardcore club. Him. Yeah. Nails, if he had a vinyl collection, chances are he'd like Thou as well. Now, I know, I'm looking at Melinda. She's asking for Lizzo. Melinda, we listen to everything over here. You're going to have to suffer. I expect this metal might not be for you. Might not be. But you should suffer through it so that we can suffer together. It's kind of like around Easter, Good Friday, is it? All those fucking crazy Catholics that they go up on their knees. They go up the stairs on their knees and they fucking whip themselves. Somehow that brings them closer to God by flagellating themselves. I am flagellating your ears, Melinda, in the name of Jesus. Repent. The reason I am so familiar with Jesus is because I have been around Satan my whole life. I am trying to repent. I am trying to repent. But the evil devil's notes, they fuck everything up for me. I can't be good. Does anybody know the devil's triangle? Do you know the devil's triangle? I know the devil's triangle. I know the Devil's Triangle. Oh boy. Where do we go now? I promised that I would get angry about something. About people who talk about how much their records cost. I should be getting angry right now, I know. Ugh, how do I fake outrage? One of my very favorite people who likes hardcore and punk, Christian Troxel from New Orleans, is listening right now. I know that because I put on some Thou. And Thou is a band from New Orleans. And Christian Troxel is the guy that introduced me to them. So, you see how we learn all together? Christian is among us. But, I'm speaking to Christian. I'm speaking to that other fucking deadbeat kind of gamey ICU. You punk. You punk. Hey. Are you VJ patrons, yes or no? Answer the fucking question. You guys throwing out all these requests. When you go to your local diner, you buy yourself a coffee? If there's a jukebox, you gotta put $2 in it, right? To hear a song? I'm gonna give you a song, and I'm gonna tell you a story. What more do you want? You want me to fucking play with my tits at the same time? Go support this programming. This is one-of-a-kind programming right here. One of a kind. Let me get to the fan questions. You guys are annoying me. Alright, let's see what you guys have to say that's so good that I have to pay attention to. Fucking Al Lurer. Hey Al, are you a fucking VJ patron yet? Get on it. bit.ly/VJ patron now, do it. He wants to know that if I got anything good for Christmas. Yes. My soul was saved by the Lord Jesus Christ. I can't say what a... Yes! I have the love of Jesus in my soul. What did you get for Christmas? A pair of isotoner gloves? At some point I gotta get away from this metal. I don't know how to do it right now. Right now I'm feeling very metal. I should be angry about something, shouldn't I? What am I supposed to be angry about again? Oh yeah, people who talk about how much they paid their shit. I'll get there eventually. I mean, are you in a hurry? Are you in a hurry? You don't mind if I play a couple songs first, do you? Or do I have to answer you right now? I don't have to answer you right now. Especially if you're not a VJ patron. If you're not a VJ patron, I don't know you jack shit. Get off my channel now! Or become a VJ patron, in which case, welcome and humble thanks. It all depends on what you get, you understand? Yes, Melinda McClure, who's suffering through the metal because she's the real shit. 100% that bitch. You know what that means? She's a VJ patron. We do have a Third Man Records unboxing. It's gonna happen. I'm also gonna play some Greg Allman, his last album. I'm gonna play them shits for you. And, the new Robert Glasper mixtape. So we're gonna get into the hip-hop. Came out last week. Last Friday. The album's called Fuck Your Feelings. But before that, maybe I'll try to keep Christian happy. But Christian might not even be on anymore. So I don't know why I should be keeping him happy. This guy. I'm gonna make myself happy, okay? As long as I'm happy in Jesus, we're good.
I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime, reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't have much time, 'cause at 5 o'clock they take me to
the gallows! Oh, yeah! The sands of time for me are running low. name! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Hallowed be thy name! There we go. We got our maiden on. Doesn't that feel good? Didn't it get the adrenaline pumping a bit? You hear while they're doing the whole guitar thing, and like the crowd screams, that's when Bruce Dickinson runs from one side of the stage, and he goes to that side of the stage, and he goes like this, and everybody yells for him. And then he runs to the other side of the stage, and he does this again, and everybody yells for him. Everybody fucking yells for Bruce Dickinson. He's got to be doing something right. I know that whatever he's doing right, I'm not doing right. You know why? I got fucking Robbie Buckman here. Portlandia? I see you, Portland. Are you a VJ patron? $2 in your pocket. bit.ly/VJ patron. Get there now. Right now. Mark Chapman? Yeah, I know it's awesome. Now you be awesome. Become a patron. And I will continue the metal for you. We're gonna go on to a third man unboxing. Somehow I should be acting like I'm upset. I'll keep doing these shows for free, man. I want you to become patrons because this is programming worth support. This is programming that's worth supporting. But people gotta do what's right for them. So if you got $2 in your pocket, you go support me so that I can take this further. Because I will. This shit winds up on Sirius, you'll know. I got plans, man. I got plans. What channel could you put me on, though? Little Steven's Underground Garage? Would I be able to fit on that? But then what happens when I play The Maiden? Or when I play Bolero? I kind of... the worst way to do a show is to play music that'll eventually piss off every single one of your listeners. I think I do that with consistency every year, every day, every 2 days, every 3, whenever I get on. I think I do that. Insulting potential patrons is probably a bad idea too, but now you understand why I can't own a record store. I can't, as much as I love records. And that, friends, is where it is that we'll start talking about the Vinyl Junkie's pet peeve for this week. People who gotta keep telling you how much they paid for their records. Now, we have a forum on Facebook with 23,000 members curated specifically because, I've been on the net since 97, so I've been on these forums since forever, and I've been a collector my entire life of everything under the sun. So I understand this collector behavior also. The reason it is that I wanted to start Vinyl Junkies is because I didn't want a lot of the same trite bullshit to show up on my forum. I actually wanted to talk about music. And a lot of people kind of confuse a discussion about art with other things. One of the things that we see very, very often in, vinyl groups across Facebook or any basic social media is you're going to have this in comic books, you're going to have this in sports car. You're going to have the guys who talk about how much everything's worth. They treat an album like it's a commodity. Oh, it's worth this much. There were only this many pressed. And now it's sold out, so it's commanding this much. Now, I find that conversation infinitely boring. Infinitely boring. Because if you've noticed, what it is that I've described is a conversation that each and every one of you out there have heard. even partaken in. All right? Nothing's being said about music. You can say the same general bullshit about everything. What's interesting to you? The collector aspect or the actual art? When you're going to a forum, tell me something. What are you looking for? You're looking for somebody to tell you who paid what for what? I mean, is that what art is? I'd like to point to two basic philosophical principles, okay, that, people smarter than me generally point to indicate that art is more than what you paid for it. Okay, and I'll even use an example as a matter of fact, if I may. If not, get off the show. If you like it and you want to hear it, then subscribe. Do what you want. Understand? Well, so, I remember my secondary 2 middle school science class, and that's where I learned the difference between a qualitative experience and a quantitative experience. Basic principles. Quantitative experience is based on numbers, so you can actually calculate it, right? There are 2 liters of milk. There is so much milk. You weigh 500 pounds. That's how much you weigh. It's indisputable. It's empirical because it's a number that describes that. You see, now that's not what music is. Then there's something called qualitative experience. And that's what I think people who buy vinyl are looking for. A qualitative experience. It is that qualitative experience that separates the person who will just listen to music on a stream, on Spotify. They'll listen to a show like this as it's on, and the person, it separates that type of person from the type of person who cares enough for the quality of something because it enhances their life enough for them to spend money on it. So they'll go out and they'll buy a record. Why? Because there's a 3-dimensional thing to the entire experience that transcends the music, right? There are qualitative experiences that you can't measure in terms of numbers. That's what separates art from so many other things. And that's why it is that it holds a special place in our heart. So, the minute it is that you have somebody, if I have to have a conversation that I'm passionate about, right? And I'm going to talk to some imbecile who's going to tell me that he paid, this record, here, let me do it for you, okay? I received a record that I've been expecting for a long time. Now, this record here is a $200 or $300 record. It's an original mono pressing of My Favorite Things, John Coltrane. We can talk about that, or we can talk about what it is that makes the record special. The fact that it's mono and the original master tapes don't exist anymore. So the only way that you can get a mono is not reissue, because you'll never see a good reissue of a mono. The tapes don't exist. So you have to own the record in order to be able to listen to it in that experience. Why would you want to own the mono? Because when this record came out, and I don't remember the year, but when this record came out, the predominant way of recording artists was monophonic sound. Stereo was not yet perfected. So when it is that you hear the engineers who put together a mono record and the ones who cut mono records, okay, that was the predominant way to do things. So that's where it is that that's the way the records were supposed to sound at that time. All right? So if you want that kind of authenticity, you have to get an original. To me, telling that entire story gives you so much more background on why this John Coltrane record is important. Or I can go on and talk about the liner notes and how it is that it talks about the first 15 years of John Coltrane's life and all of the people he played for leading up to this album, and how, really when it is that he grabbed himself a soprano saxophone to play My Favorite Things, he basically changed the sound a lot of what people were expecting from jazz. There's so many other things that you can talk about. Tell me something. What's more interesting to you, with $200 or $300 or everything else that followed? What gets you passionate? If The amount that you pay a record is what gets you passionate? Dude, you're doing it wrong, man. It makes me think of those fucking people, okay? And these clowns, they exist, like I said, in every single hobby, all right? I watched a documentary maybe 2 months ago about this guy. His documentary was supposed to be kind of like live action shot type of thing. He had a bunch of baseball cards because his father started one of the biggest baseball card empires in terms of stores. He was one of the godfathers of, the people who started the baseball card stores, the sports card stores, and he had franchises everywhere. He eventually disappeared off the face of the earth, but he had this connection to these cards, and he thought that he saved all of these cards. This guy thought he was gonna be a millionaire on these fucking cards. So he said, hey, wouldn't it make a great movie if I just follow this, let's follow it around. We're gonna go to a card show, and we're gonna see how much it is that we bagged, kind of like those antiques road shows type of thing. And he goes there, and he finds out that all of these cards that he paid a fortune for, and that he thought were worth a fortune, literally, I'll give you $5 for that card, for that box of 500. Literally, the entire set was worth $5, less than what they paid for them back then. Okay, guess what? A lot of those cards back then, okay, belonged to companies that took advantage of this and tried charging you and did it. Basically, created a market that never really existed. So all of a sudden you got Upper Deck coming out. This is a baseball card company. They came out with all these ultra nice cards, and they talked about the Ken Griffey Jr. Rookie card that's worth $200, and then it became worth $300, and then $400. It became worth so much. And then there's the Jose Canseco. It's the same thing, or the Cal Ripken that has the fuck you under the bat. And all of these cards commanded these hundreds of dollars. Everybody thought they were getting rich, I swear to you. Because I remember there were cards and comics were kind of like, a lot of times they occupied the same space. I would see lawyers, I promise, professionals in suits come in and spend like hundreds of dollars because they thought they were investing in something. Those cards now are worth fuck all. Fuck all. And out of all those companies that existed back then that made baseball cards, there's only one that exists anymore, Topps. The one who started it all in the beginning. Or one of the early ones. So, this entire idea of trying to attach a numerical value, a dollar value to art, is absolute nonsense. It is fake. And if that's what it is that you find interesting about collecting a record on vinyl, save your money, man. Save your money. If you look at it as an investment, you're missing the point altogether. And the reason it is that I curate Vinyl Junkies completely away from that, like strictly, we have a no money talk rule, is because these guys are like weeds in the fucking garden. Once they start talking, you get people who are just raised in this capitalist idea. Once you start mentioning $1, it spreads like weeds everywhere because people are so conditioned to attach a number, to assign value in that way, and it is a complete bullshit way to attach value to art. Because if you want to look at that, and now I'll get to my point, hey, you know the famous artist, right, who died and sold how many paintings? Van Gogh. The famous story behind Vincent van Gogh is that he sold only one painting in his life. Then researchers said that it was 2 paintings. And then they went a little for 2 paintings and a couple drawings. All this is to say that this genius died poor. He made no money on his art. Some asshole taped a banana to a wall and sold it for $100,000 to another sucker. It doesn't mean a fucking thing. The conversation about whether that banana taped to the wall has more intrinsic value than the actual whatever 100,000 that the idiot paid for it. It has more intrinsic value because at that point you can talk about what is art. You're talking about principles. The minute it is that I hear somebody start, I paid that record $3. Really, dude? How much did you just pay lunch? Like, fuck, you're boring, man. So, the reason it is that I don't like those kinds of conversations is because they actually take away from the intrinsic value of art. They take away from being able to have an actual meaningful discussion about art, about music, about things that we love, like real things. You love $100? Who loves $100? If you do, you suck. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Some people, that's the way it is that they do things. And those people are allowed to do what they want, of course, but it is not a qualitative experience. It does not contribute towards a qualitative conversation. And that's why we don't want them in Vinyl Junkies. They're the weeds of the vinyl collector's circle. Let them go fuck up every other forum. I don't want them. And that, my friends, is my rant for today. Did you enjoy it? Was it good? Was it good enough for you to become a patron? Or are you just one of those people that listen to this thing and then you say, the fucker's gonna get on Friday anyway for free. Why should I support him by becoming a VJ patron? The address right there staring you on the screen. Why? Ugh. We're gonna unbox Third Man next. Lead in with the hives. That was the hives. Did you enjoy it? Wasn't that fun? Now that we got all the venom out of the way, we can concentrate on having a good time. Now we can all smile. Everybody smile. I'm going to open up this Third Man box and we're going to play whatever's inside. And one of the reasons that I can tell you that it's going to be amazing to begin with is that Third Man, this box, there are some things that are going to happen immediately. And that is, there's going to be liner notes. They're going to be well packed. The box is indestructible. Third Man Records makes the best box in vinyl. So your records are safe. And when it comes to actually sending them like this as promo, they make sure that they leave us a one-pager that we can read to you to tell you about the record. And I think that that's really cool because that completely, I don't know, that completely kind of captures the feeling of old radio and old vinyl promotion. I think that Third Man, Third Man is one of the only one that's coming to mind right now that really know how to sell vinyl, that really know how to market vinyl, that do it. The only thing that I don't like is that I get the records just a day before they actually come out, so I'm not given enough time to kind of play them. I'm not given enough time to absorb them. I think that's important. Like, one thing that's really cool is getting a record 4 weeks or 6 weeks ahead of time, because it allows me to familiarize myself with the music, and it allows me to play it for you more than once, so that it's not something that you just hear once. It's something that you kind of grow accustomed to, so that when you do buy the record and when it does arrive to your house, it's like, oh boy, there's an excitement there. And I played some Iron Maiden earlier, and that to me was the perfect example, because I remember when Power Slave came out, before the album Power Slave came out on that Tuesday, whatever it was, I had heard 2 Minutes to Midnight many, many, many times, because the single was released beforehand, and because they had a video for 2 Minutes to Midnight. And then right before the album came out, they did the same thing for Aces High, and then the album came out basically the same week or something like that. So there was a certain build-up that made it so that I anticipated when I went and picked up that record and brought it home and dropped the needle on it. It made it something special. And another thing that made it special is that you take that single and then you listen to the rest of the record and you see how it fits within the general order. Because back then, I don't know if it's the case anymore, but back then, definitely, side one, side two, the order of songs did count for something. They told a story. Every song was a chapter. So, knowing where that chapter, that 2 Minutes to Midnight, fit within the entire book is something that was cool. I think that that's the only thing that I would say I wish Third Man did better. I wish that I wish I got records earlier, because I know I'd do a much better job with them, and if I liked them, it would show. Okay, because I don't have to play anything, but I will play anything I like, right? You guys know I won't bullshit you. Anybody gonna become patron number 114? Where are you? I gotta open this box. Somebody keep me busy by becoming a patron while I open this box and unbox it for you. Because I don't have it queued up yet, we're gonna listen to the Rapture before we put on whatever's in this magical box here. 2 records, maybe single. If it's a single, I'll play the single first. Another thing that Third Man have really done well for me is it's because of this label here that I enjoy singles for the first time in my life. I mean, I've had them, obviously, but it's the first time that I really enjoy singles. When I get a single from Third Man Records, I'm excited to play it. That's never happened before. So I never really understood the appeal. I always liked the album. Ben Blackwell's a huge collector of singles, and they managed to make that experience shine through. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, and let it... Ooh, the box fell. So we have 2 records. We don't have any singles this time. One, I believe I already have. Do I have this? Did they already send it? Jonathan Fire Eater. Let me just see what the date is. 12/13/2019. Yeah, I may have this. In which case, if I have it, then it's a double. And for those of you who are VJ patrons, visit the Swap group. Hey, it looks like I might have a Jonathan Fire Eater album up for Swap. It's good. They're very, very good. And the second one is a band I don't know about, and I guess that's what I'm going to play after. Brendan Benson, One Mississippi. What's the street date on this? The street date on this was, okay, so the 6th of December. So I can play this without any problem. The hype sticker says, first ever vinyl pressing of Raconteur's co-leader Brendan Benson's 1996 debut album. Melodically crafted power pop, arranged and written with subtle complexity and honed in bedrooms across Detroit and San Francisco. So I just learned that this guy is a co-founding member of Raconteurs, and this record is an old record that they just put out. I'm going to read you the liner notes and cue it up, and then from the liner notes, I'll play a song. Okay? Okay. Here's The Rapture, Sub Pop. Rapture. Nelson is one of the more knowledgeable guys on this group. He says it's a good EP and it's awesome. He owns a few records, he might be right. Hey, you know what I should mention now? All 113 patrons. Not a single cocksucker added. We got a lot of new listeners, but all of them just 114. Tab our Slack. We got a new patron. Hey, somebody found a little bit of pocket change into their pockets. I'm gonna have to find out who you are and give you a shout out. I might even have to play you a request, maybe a story. It's not that fucking kind of gamey guy. It isn't him. That guy, I've known him so long. That prick is still not a patron. Listening for free, fucking glomming off my talents. Oh, I hate people like him. I fucking hate you, Brooke. I hate you. He really likes... He's got this thing. He's masochistic. He likes when people treat him like shit. So, it made me uncomfortable at the beginning, but then I grew to like it. So now, every time I see him, I give him shit. He's still not a patron, though. So Brendan Benson, I'm going to read you this, okay? And after that, play you something else. I'm going to find out who that awesome patron is. I have to look on my phone for that, but I'm going to check. Let me give a quick... Let's see, could it be that I have to thank 2 patrons? We got time. What, we're going to run out of time? Let me give credit where credit is due. I'm going to do a quick refresh to see if we got 2 patrons new or just 1. You see, you go to the well once too often. All right, 114. We'll see what we got to say thank you to. First, I'm going to play you this Brendan Benson, and I'm going to read you these liner notes. The album is called One Mississippi. It came out in December. Years before, Detroit was the first word on the lips of taste fakers. You get it? Not makers, fakers. That's an interesting little bit of writing. Hype stokers, scene stealers, and fame lords the world over. Brendan Benson's Sheep in Wolves Clothing debut album, One Mississippi, was the unassuming first shot fired from the city, and players who would soon become fetid beyond their wildest imagination. Fetid, not as in disgusting and rotten like ID, fetid as in F-E-T-E-D. Very impressive use of vocabulary. I told you, man, these guys know liner notes. These guys, this is a professional PR team. From the gallant album opener, T, a song which particularly resonated with Japanese fans, of whom hundreds excitedly sent them fan mail containing tea bags. Through the propulsive swell of Sittin' Pretty and the undeniable hit of Cross-Eyed, to the quirky Insects Rule, which was jammed on live by Foo Fighters, Benson's craft is fully on display here, with half the songs here co-written by the estimable Jason Faulkner of Jellyfish and Beck fame. The end result is an unabashed pop album accentuated by Brendan's brilliant turn of phrase and preternatural ear for a melody. The album also stands out as the first full-length project helmed by venerated super producer Ethan Johns of Paul McCartney and Kings of Leon fame, with One Mississippi serving as a unifying point in the careers of Johns, Benson, and Faulkner and Hedges. Benson and Hedges that found them all mutual smokers. Ascendant. 23 years after its initial release, the Third Man Records reissue of One Mississippi is the first ever pressing of this seminal album. And I know that it's seminal because it told me. It's the first time available on vinyl. The targeted press, it even tells you who the targeted press is. Rolling Stone, Pitchfork, Stereo Gum, and Paste. Those are the tastemakers. And vinyl junkies. And me. I'm in there too. Don't fucking forget that. That's why you're patrons. This is professionalism. We're going to listen to the big, unabashed pop song called... What's that song called? Cross-Eyed. And I heard maybe 3 seconds of it, and I think that that's probably a good leeway into something else. Let's listen to this, okay? Brendan Benson, One Mississippi.
Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? My friends think you're ugly. They don't see what I see. No, I love my cross-eyed baby. Your secret's safe with me. Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? I can't wait to get you out of here. Oh, take you home with me, away from here. cross-eyed girl can surely make you shout, yeah. Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you She was crooked and nailed, but yeah, and her eyes half shut, and her dirty mouth was open, oh yeah, just a little rough. Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair. Where do you come from? Where are you going? Twitchy lady, so lovely with your short hair.
Now,
Where do you
to my ears, that has a distinctly David Bowie sound. That sounded fucking awesome. I really liked it. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Folks, kinda gamey Brooke is a masochist, so I can't scale back any of the mean things I said because he would lose respect for me. But you should know that before Vinyl Junkies existed, that's 2011 where I started all this madness. Before Vinyl Junkies, it was Cannabis Nation. Cannabis Nation was Vinyl Junkies version 1.0. Just the theme was pot. And all the art and culture that potheads consume and enjoy. And I mean, Vinyl Junkies is kind of the same thing too, because, well, the devil's cabbage, look, there's the bad side of me that likes the devil's cabbage, so I sin a lot. A lot. Like, I sin a fucking lot. And then on this side, we have our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he saves me from everything. So, it's a constant battle inside. You understand? The stomach acids, they're always roiling. They're roiling. Eating away at my insides. I am rotten inside. But the power of Jesus Christ, it sustains me. As does marijuana. So, it is with that in mind, dear friends, that we pay homage to kinda, sort of, kinda a vinyl junkie before all of you guys. It was original CN. Original. I don't forget them shits. I used to play video games with him. Halo, he sucks. He's horrible at it. Can't play shooters. Horrible. But he liked the jokes, so he listened. And now, after all of these years, this is more than 10 years, 12 years, how long, Brooke? 15? You finally throw $5 my way. You cheap son of a bitch. Listen to this, Almond Brothers. Not like the nut, not almond. Don't say that. Don't be polite. Greg Allman, before he died, he released this record here in 2017. Rounder Records. We're going to listen to a song called Blind Bats and Swamp Rats. Because that's going to be good. The title's good, isn't it? Don't you enjoy the title? Don't you feel better now? Brooke, all these years, the guilt of being a cheapskate, glomming off my talents, listening to me constantly entertain you, teach you the cultural importance of Filipino midgets. Double O, Wang Wang. Roots, brother, who taught you them shits? I'm the one who taught you about Wang Wang, me. And how about post Wang Wang? Ping Ping. The cigarette smoking midget? Who taught you about the cigarette smoking midget? Ping Ping. I taught you about Ping Ping. Who told you where to get those Wang Wang movies, which I bought on DVD? Me. Finally, you take $5 out of your pocket. I would have died on the street already fucking hundreds of times if it was up to you. I'm ashamed of you. Ashamed. Shame. Well, well, well. Look at you guys. Everybody's got the kind words. Words don't pay my bills, you cheap fucks. Become a patron or else you're useless to me. Brandy Smith. Hi, Brandy, how are you? First time viewer. Well, welcome. Become a patron. Nah, you get a few free shows still. If you like it, I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, always the same time. I don't have much to do with life. So I sit in my basement and I play records. And I yell at people. You're new, so I'll try to treat you nice. But I promise, if you stick around, I'm gonna yell at you too. And eventually you're gonna give me your money and you're gonna become a patron. $2 a month. You can do $2 a month. Brandy, would you buy me a coffee? Look at the way I look. Just because you feel sorry for me. Just because you feel sorry. I would accept it. From you, Brandy Smith. Callie Pole. Another deadbeat. I'm a legend. Why, thank you for the kind words there, Callie. Those kind words. If I take them to my bank manager, you know what he says to me? Get the fuck out of this bank. Pay your mortgage on time. That's what he's going to say to me. Your kind words are useless. I can't... Everything comes down to dollars and cents, like I was saying earlier. It's a material world. I'm a material girl. I have bills. I wish your kind wishes for me can feed everybody. We are the world. We are the children. Like that. Like the song. But you have to become a patron for that to happen. Tiberio Dumbrava, preach brother. He likes what I have to say. Another deadbeat. I've even met this fucking guy. Lives in Montreal. Help him pick out some records. Hey, Tiberio. Become a patron. Or don't talk to me anymore. Next time I see you at Echo Depot or wherever it is that we bought those records, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Tiberio, what did I say? Don't fucking talk to me. Don't. What are we listening to next? We're listening to a new record. They came out last Friday. It's a mixtape by Robert Glasper called Fuck Your Feelings. It's a double album on Loma Vista Recordings. Now, it's a cheap, kind of like just direct-to-board jacket, but still, whatever, man. The vinyl's nicely pressed, though, it should be said. And it sounds nice. I've played the entire album twice already. I enjoy it. I never really knew what Robert Glasper looked like, though. I mean, I have some of his records, and I know that he did a lot of the jazz stuff. And here it's kind of like more of a hip-hoppy vibe. So he's got this toque, and he's sitting on a throne, and like he doesn't have a shirt on. Robert Glasper's a very talented guy, but he's got a bit of a weight issue, I would say. Just a little bit. I know very much. I know what it's like to tackle with weight issues. I understand the insecurities of having thick skin. So, don't accuse me of being cruel. I too suffer from an overactive thyroid. Or underactive, whichever one makes you fat. Here's some Robert Glasper.
Education.
Delicious, right? Robert Glasper. Fuck Your Feelings. More on the hip-hop side of things. Good record, I like it. Lots of interludes. I like those also. Very rude interludes. For a jazz bow, he has a filthy mouth. He makes all of us look very bad. I think people who listen to jazz should set an example. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Let me get to some more thank yous. Edwin Benitez, you rock. Fuck you, become a patron. Haha, dude, but you are. Thank you very much. Look at that address on the screen. Become a patron. Other words, silence now. I'm gonna get around to playing a song for you, Brooke. Kinda gamey. You became a patron. You became patron number 14 in our hallowed halls of people who think this is quality programming worth supporting. This is like PBS, bitch. Support. That song that we heard is a song that caught my attention immediately because, well, it's pretty jazzy and it's kind of spaced out. The song is called Indulging in Such. So, it's the title kind of connotes the entire idea of they're just kind of noodling around, and it sounds good, doesn't it? A lot of Erykah Badu's later projects kind of do that also, kind of like noodle around. I enjoy it, man. I like it's kind of like they took the entire aesthetic of, skits, like the skits between records kind of thing, and just evolved it into something else. And I kind of like where that whole, Soulquarian, I guess, tinged sound comes from. For lack of better terms, you want to call it a West Coast get down thing. Call it what you want. I think, just let me talk, okay? Just let me talk. Stop being so critical. Fucking guys. And I told you, I mean this. Become a patron. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're watching this right now. You're listening to me. You're listening to my voice now. This talent oozing from my throat. And you're not supporting it? Shame on you. Shame. 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 Ding ding. Shame. Ding ding. That song, that Robert Glasper song, made me think of another song on a very, very popular record. Tell me if you hear it. This is where I start playing serious. Nah. We are having a good time, aren't we? Are we having a good time? Am I rude? Is it wrong? Is it wrong? Am I doing this wrong? I fill myself with so much so much angst. Because I constantly need justification from you. You guys gotta tell me that I'm good. Hard to abuse as a child. So now I depend on you. My life sucks. No, it doesn't. This is so much fun. So much. I think I'm gonna play you another one. No, I'm doing my best. I'm doing it best. Tabarnak, I'm doing it best. That's the difference between one word, right? You're doing your best means you kind of suck. But I applaud your effort anyway. You understand? You're doing it best. It assumes that I'm very clearly a very big deal. Krzysztof. Maj. Polish? You would actually not be the only Polish. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at your profile picture. You are absolutely Polish. Fuck, are they white? Yeah, man. We got Polish VJ patrons. Pshemek. He's our dude. Krzysztof, look at that address up there, okay? Become a VJ patron. It's less than €2 a month. That's the minimum. So low. Fucking Krzysztof. Become a patron. I'm an annoying Canadian. I'm gonna keep bugging you. If you want to listen, I'm gonna keep bugging you, Krzysztof. Talking about how white you are with that cowboy hat. There's no cowboys in Poland. Take that thing off. I'm gonna keep bothering you until you become a patron. And then what? And then I'll start being nice again. I watched a really bad movie yesterday. I got quite an affinity for bad movies. I like bad movies. I stream a lot of my stuff through the Xbox, and I keep talking about this Tubi app. Through the Xbox One, Tubi. Tubi. Look it up. Brooke, I know you still have an Xbox. Tubi. Tubi. It's like Netflix, but there's no charge, and it's all bad movies. And they just show commercials, so you can watch the Beverly Hillbillies, you can watch I Love Lucy, you can watch Gilligan's Island, The Honeymooners, and every blaxploitation, sexploitation, exploitation, everything that ends with ploitation, every movie like that you could possibly ask for, they're all there. Now, the one thing that goes through all of that is that the soundtracks are amazing, almost universally. Even when they're bad, they're amazing. So, it's the reason that I keep watching these movies. I really like them. And I watched one particularly fetid one called Black Shampoo yesterday. It's about this guy here. Yes, I'm not sure if you people out there in YouTube land and just in social media land can see, but he is indeed holding a gun in one hand and a hairdryer in another. That is because he is the world's #1 blaxploitation superhero / hairdresser of all time. I'm pretty sure even now, till 2020, he's probably the #1 of all time. The best way that I could describe this movie is that it's a lot worse than what I'm about to read to you, which is the synopsis. But I will read you the synopsis and then play you a song. John Daniels stars as Jonathan Knight, the owner of Mr. Jonathan's, the most successful hair salon for women on the Sunset Strip. Jonathan is tall, muscular, black, and ballsy. His reputation as a lover has become so awesome, he is sought after almost as much in that capacity as in his expertise as a hairstylist. So they want him for his hairstyling technique and for his enormous dick. Both. Dick and hair. Hair and dick. He gets paid for both. His appointment schedule is very full. I watched the movie. I can attest to this. Everything is cool for Jonathan until he messes with the mob in an effort to protect his young, attractive receptionist from her former boss. Action explodes when the loving machine becomes the killing machine. He's a lover, and like in his soul, he's a lover, but oh boy, he can become a real killer sometimes. And during the entire time, you should know, he's got an enormous black cock. They make sure you never forget that. Gays like his cock. Women like his cock. Everyone loves Jonathan's cock. This movie is all about cock. So he becomes the killing machine. He transforms. It's kind of like Bruce Banner is the loving machine, but then Hulk becomes the killing machine. Something like that. He's like Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk, but he doesn't turn green. He's black on both sides. Jonathan, equipped with chainsaw in hand, gets down on the vicious mob gang. Folks, what I just read you and the music you'll listen to is the best part of this movie. It's terrible. And you should watch it. For those of you who are familiar with the fantastically horrible softcore porn series from France, Emmanuel, it's like Emmanuel, but made in America with black people. It's like that. So if this interests you, please go download Tubi and look for Black Shampoo. Me, I collect everything blaxploitation, so I never saw the movie before yesterday, but I did see it yesterday. Did I tell you what it's about? Hairdresser. But that's not really what it's about. It's about cock. The movie's all about cock. Here's the theme song.
life. And the one thing he'll do you like no man can.
Bigger and better.
He's a real man. 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 He's a real man.
Real man. Yeah. He'll basically blow out your hair and, like, fuck you standing, impale you to the wall. Blondes, brunettes, redheads, black, blonde, purple, all of them. He loves them all. He fixes their hair and he fixes their vaginas. And he hunts down the bad guy. There's one scene, it's so romantic. They're in a pedal boat. And the song that's playing during that, I should play it for you, but I won't. Next time, ask me to play you the song, Can You Feel the Love? Basically, the song... The song basically... All they do is say, Can you feel the love, the entire point. Okay? And like they're on their first date. So it's really the only reason you would think that these two people are in love is because the song keeps telling you that they're in love. They're not in love, they're just gonna fuck. Emmanuel, man, same thing, just with afros and hair dryers. Black shampoo. Don't watch it, it's terrible. Do we get another patron or do we make this the last song? Are you guys done with my nonsense? Are you all done with this? This is terrible. This fucking guy. What was that Polish guy's name? Let's pick on him a little longer. Christoph! He'll consider it, he says. Why, thank you for your consideration. Hey, Christoph! This isn't the fucking Oscars! Don't consider, do! Become a patron right now. Don't become the shame of Poland. Pashemek? I like Pashemek more. He's Polish and he's a patron. What are you? I also like Ivan Putski. The Polish Hammer? Wrestling? Ivan Putski. One of my favorite Poles. You I don't like yet, Christoph. I don't like you. Not yet. I think we might have to make this the last song. You see, Nelson's the one who understands how this show works. There are words, you have to understand the lexicon. So he fucking Googled tabarnak. Now, that's a qualitative experience. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a man who understood The only way I can really understand this show is to Google his gibberish. It might mean something, it might not. We don't know. We don't know. It's like Easter eggs everywhere. Easter eggs everywhere, man. You guys, you have to look for the Easter eggs. Christoph, do they have Easter in Poland? You're Catholic? What would Jesus do? Hey, Christoph, would Jesus become a patron? Would he support the poor? He would support them, right? Be like Jesus. Christoph, I'm asking not for me, for Jesus. For your soul, I'm trying to save your soul. For the sake of all of Poland, become a VJ patron. Like Kinda Gamey did. Kinda Gamey became a patron. And now I'm going to give him a song. This guy, it took a week, even longer for him to become a patron. And he kept telling me about this other patron that he follows, this other Patreon account he follows, Emil Amos, who I talked about on our New Year's Eve special because he may be on. Well, Emil Amos is now, I think, some kind of working member of a band called Ohm and Grails as well. And he has a podcast which is very interesting. He talks about acid trips and music and hunting down really weird soundtracks. He's an interesting cat. And we might have him on. We might get together. I won't consider it, of course. If this guy actually does it, we're going to get together and we're going to do a show. When these things fuck up, it's not my fault. Me, I'm ready to go. No, yeah, I was busy yesterday. Yeah, oh, hey, you know what? Why don't I just sit right here and I wait for you? You don't know. Rock and roll is a vicious game, so some of these guys, they have to go through their publicists first. These fucking guys. I hate rock stars. I hate them. All of them. So this ML Amos guy, he's worked with Ohm. Ohm is one half. 2/3. 2/3, not one half. 2/3 of Sleep. Sleep, the stoner band with Matt Pike. Ohm is Sleep without Matt Pike. There's no guitar. Chris Haikulius on drums. Al Cisneros, bass and vocals. I'm not sure when Emil got in, but this is their first record and it's the only one I have. I want more because I like them. And what I'm going to do is refresh and see if we hit another one. This song for you is for you. Dear Kinda Gamey Brooke. This is ML Amos before ML Amos really joined the band. So it's really got nothing to do with ML Amos at all. But I'm going to play it and you're going to enjoy it. Porco Dio. Listen to some Ohm. The song is called Annapurna. I'm a VJ patron. Christoph, with that hat. Take off that hat. You're not a cowboy. No Polish cowboys. No cowboys in Poland. Stop.
The flight to breed and radiant rays, the call descended. And reach supreme, the goal that I have to surrender. Centripetal core of soul sojourn, the field vibrates to absolution. I climb toward the sun to breathe the universal. the field vibrates to
It's a really long.
absolute
It's a really long song. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pause, just for a little while, okay? Just for a little while, we gotta pause. I want you to imagine a big black man. This black man in specific, with a giant penis, in a paddle boat with this lovely woman, and it's their first date. Now, just looks like a really badly filmed, two people in the middle of a fucking paddle boat. But it's not like that. They're in love. And you know how you know? This was the cue. It made me realize there is real love here. This is not just hairdressing, folks. This man is not just all penis. He is also all heart. Listen to this. He is all heart and all penis.
Can you feel the love? La 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 la. Can you feel the love? Ooh, can you feel the love? You can be here if you open up your eyes. Running life so hard to
That was just your sexy interlude. I love you guys, and I know I said it was the last song, but I felt you deserved a sexy interlude. So, never let it be said, dear friends, that I don't care about you. I've asked if you've shielded yourself from the black ice today. I've asked about your morning commute. I've given you fashion tips. Well, at least the people in Poland, fashion tips. Do's and don'ts, just simple do's and don'ts. No cowboys in Poland. Lo siento. And now, we'll continue with the last song. One last refresh. Do we have to name anybody else? Yes, kinda gamey. We did mention you. He's got to make the show all about him. Alright. Here's some more Ohm. Friday, we're on again. 2 p.m. Eastern.
universal. turn the field vibrates to absolution. I climb toward the sun to breathe the universal. Raise the goal descendant. And reach supreme the goal that die unto surrender. Centripetal core of soul sojourn the field vibrates to absolution. I climb toward the sun to breathe the universal. The flight to freedom, gradient raise up, the goal descended. And reach supreme unto salute sun's rays that now born surrenders.
Next Friday, show up. Tommy, Alaska.